How the Browns likely saved Shedeur Sanders from huge embarrassment. When the Cleveland Browns selected Shedeur Sanders in the 2025 NFL Draft, it was an unexpected move. While Sanders had showcased undeniable talent during his college years at Colorado, few anticipated that the Browns would take a chance on him. However, in hindsight, the Browns' decision was crucial, potentially saving Sanders from what could have been a massive embarrassment. Sanders had a standout career at the University of Colorado, where he helped transform a struggling football program into a competitive force in the Big 12. In his final season, Sanders led the Buffaloes to a 9-3 regular season record, including a 7-2 mark in conference play. Now, Colorado suffered a loss to BYU in the Valera Alamo Bowl. Sanders' performance was a highlight. With 4,134 passing yards and 37 touchdown passes, Sanders topped the Big 12 in both categories, cementing his reputation as one of the nation's top quarterbacks. Additionally, his 74% completion rate on 477 attempts led the FBS, as per Football Reference. While Sanders may not have elite arm strength or mobility, his quick decision-making, accuracy, and poise under pressure made him an exciting prospect for the NFL. Sanders' draft day struggles. Heading into the draft, Sanders was expected to be a first or second-round pick. However, rumors about his lackluster pre-draft interviews, where he was reportedly unprepared and sometimes disrespectful, caused his stock to drop. These reports led some teams to question whether he was worth the risk. As a result, Sanders, who had been projected as a high pick, saw his stock plummet, with his name not called until the 5th round. Had the Cleveland Browns not taken a chance on him, Sanders' future in the NFL could have been in jeopardy. Many speculated that he might have gone undrafted altogether, a nightmare scenario for a player of his caliber. The Browns, despite already having added veteran quarterbacks Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco earlier in the offseason, selected Sanders late in the draft, offering him a lifeline that many believed he desperately needed. Although Sanders' draft day was disappointing, his career with the Browns has offered a glimmer of hope. Impressive performances during the preseason have caught the attention of Cleveland's coaching staff, but his place on the roster is far from secure. Sanders will have to prove himself during training camp and preseason games if he hopes to secure a spot on the team. Had Sanders gone undrafted, the embarrassment would have been far-reaching, given his high profile as Deion Sanders' son and his success at Colorado. While his brother Shedeur Sanders found success with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Shedeur's draft slide would have been more painful and historic. Thanks to the Browns, Shedeur Sanders was given a second chance to prove his worth in the NFL. Now, with the pressure to perform, he has an opportunity to silence his critics and carve out a successful career in the league. In the high-stakes world of professional football, every draft season delivers a blend of calculated decisions, wild speculation, and unexpected twists. But few twists are as subtly significant as what happened in the 2025 NFL Draft, when the Cleveland Browns, perhaps unwittingly, may have saved Shedeur Sanders from what could have been a career-defining embarrassment. The hype machine, Shedeur Sanders, son of NFL Hall of Famer Deion Sanders, entered the 2024 college football season with a bright spotlight and even brighter expectations. Playing quarterback at the University of Colorado under his father's coaching, Shedeur had moments of brilliance, poise under pressure, and his social media following that rivaled that of many NFL veterans. ESPN dubbed him the most media-savvy QB prospect in a generation. Draft analysts routinely mocked him into the top 5 picks for 2025, citing not only his arm talent, but also his charisma and leadership. But football doesn't care about Instagram followers. And while Shedeur racked up passing yards and occasional clutch performances, he also suffered behind one of the worst offensive lines in college football. Colorado's protection problems became legendary. Sanders was sacked more than any other Power 5 quarterback in 2024. As the hits mounted, so did the questions. Scouts started whispering, was Shedeur holding the ball too long? Were his mechanics breaking down under pressure? Was he truly NFL ready, or was he simply a good college QB with a great last name? By the time the pre-draft process began, Shedeur had a decision to make, and it turned out to be the smartest one he could have made. He returned to Colorado for another season, but what many don't realize is just how close he came to entering the draft and how a single move by the Cleveland Browns might have saved him from disaster. And to the Browns. The Browns, fresh off a playoff season and with a strong defensive core, held a late first-round pick in 2025. In most mock drafts leading up to April, analysts predicted the Browns would look for offensive help, perhaps even a quarterback to groom behind Deshaun Watson, whose performance remained inconsistent and who faced ongoing public and locker room scrutiny. Behind the scenes, there was buzz that the Browns front office was intrigued by Shedeur Sanders, guy, but as a value pick if he slipped to the end of the first or even into the second round. Cleveland's brass had even requested extra film and met quietly with Sanders' representatives. And that's where things could have gone very wrong.